Welcome, Chosen One. My name is Gabriel, and you've just entered the Awakening of the Chosen, the place where hidden truths are revealed and your divine purpose becomes clear. If you've ever felt different, if you've sensed a deeper calling within you, it's not a coincidence. It's a sign. Right now, you stand at a crossroads between staying where you are or unlocking the next level of your spiritual journey. But here's the catch. Only those who watch until the end will grasp the full message and understand what's coming next. Are you ready to break free from the illusions and step into the truth? Then stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal might change everything for you. In spiritual development, the change from carbon to lens marks a thorough plunge into a world in which body, mind, and spirit blend in their ultimate manifestation. Though initially abstract, this idea becomes a concretely meaningful and transforming process when we see it through the prism of persons who identify as selected from God. We get to see, as we approach a higher level awareness, the more pure and important connectivity of everything around us is. This really helps us to rethink what we mean by matter and energy and expose aspects of life beyond the obvious and the tangible. For people who identify as chosen, joining a greater divine purpose comes with both comfort and duty. From a carbon basis to a crystalline form, this transformation is not just a physical or energetic one. It is a wider experience, a waking to a different world. In this regard, spiritual meaning comes first, as it helps us to establish our reason in this earthly world and to have a closer relationship with the divine. Especially encouraging is the awareness of this call in heart, knowing that it reflects in many spiritual civilizations and settings throughout history. This process shows us that we are always in spiritual development, guiding us toward more aware and enlightened state of being. Therefore, the change to a crystalline form entails not just a personal development. Based on love, empathy, and harmony, it also invites one to help co-create a new society. This calls for a dedication to spiritual activities that will help us to be in line with this fresh energy. Simple but powerful ways to help this transformational process include concentrated meditations, regular appreciation practices, and a constant effort to be present at the current moment. Those who really follow this road start to see how their life shapes in view of a higher goal. The process is beautiful as it helps us to realize that we are part of a greater and important whole instead of alone. We start to change in our relationships, in our capacity to forgive, in our readiness to help others. These are indicators that we are approaching a crystalline condition of existence. Every act of kindness and altruistic thinking increases our personal and group vibration. One also starts to see our unique missions more clearly. This clarity guides our behavior to reveal our dedication to spiritual purity and truth. Since we negotiate the many opportunities that life presents, we realize that the normal spiritual discernment is crucial here. Being true to the call of the heart is very vital, as it helps us to match ourselves with the most profound spiritual patterns. Deeper in this change, we discover fresh approaches to answer to the world and the people around us. Intuition turns into a more trustworthy guide, as it helps us to see previously missed intricacies and synchronicities. We have come to see the whisper of the divine in our everyday life, and to move us greater confidence and tranquility in the execution of our spiritual purpose. With this talk, maybe you will be motivated to investigate and welcome the change right before you. Realize that every action on the spiritual road benefits not only your own life, but also the collective consciousness of mankind. Participating and helping this spiritual revolution is amazing, as the change from carbon to lens represents the ongoing development of human awareness. I think that by means of information and experience sharing, every one of us may highlight the path to each other, thus augmenting our individual and group travel. From carbon to lens, the change is a profound process of metamorphosis that links our physical body to the energy directing us towards a high degree of awareness and spirituality. Since we live in a carbon-based universe, first, it might be difficult to completely grasp this transformation. Mostly composed of this element, our body grounds us to the physical world and lets us fully experience life. But this same link restricts us to a denser view of reality, therefore hiding our actual spiritual and energetic potential. Meeting the divine urge to accept the crystalline phase invites us to connect our being with higher frequencies, including those found in the fifth dimension and beyond. By now, the reality we live in becomes a realm of brightness, harmony, and intense spiritual connection. See this change as an internal revolution in which contact with the divine emerges with crystal clarity, pleasure, and serenity become continuous states, and energy flows unhindered. This is the scenario the migration from carbon to lens gives us, a promise that tests us to raise us and extend our consciousness to live in complete harmony with divine light. Through the scriptures, like in 1 Corinthians 15:49, we shall carry the picture of what is heavenly, in addition to the image of what is earthly. This chapter provides a gentle but strong direction on the spiritual development each of us is meant to travel. It inspires us to go on a spiritual road full of knowledge and revelation by reflecting God's light more truly in our life. This also allows us to understand that physical and spiritual reality are aspects of the same life, rather than different realities. We start to see that matter may become a medium to more precisely and vibrantly convey the spirit once we approach the crystalline phase. It is conceivable for the physical and the spiritual to coexist harmonically. This unity provides us with a feeling of wholeness that goes beyond the boundaries of the earthly. Still, this is not always a simple process. Change calls for an open will to let go of outdated habits that no longer advance our development. We discover as we go through this process that we can interact with others at ever more profound levels. From a crystalline standpoint, community and human connection are vital, as we are a part of a larger energy tissue that ties us in love and knowledge. Crucially, one must deliberately develop habits that will support this spiritual development. Techniques include meditation, complete focus, and submission to internal knowledge enable us to line up with the higher vibrations of crystal clean reality. By means of these and other kinds of spiritual elevation, we not only nurture our individual being, but also help to raise global consciousness collectively. Every action we do in this process of transformation marks a progress toward a better and more vivid future, where mankind may welcome its actual spiritual nature. With the knowledge that every stride is a vivid dance, as we connect our essence with the brilliant music of the cosmos, we start an adventure of self-discovery, healing, and spiritual development when we commit to this road. Many changes might start to show up in your life as a crystalline being, indicators of your higher frequency alignment. One of the first things we usually come to see is more awareness of the energy all around us. This great energy awareness helps us to more precisely experience the vibratory character of individuals, surroundings, even plants and animals. This sensitivity may be a blessing that helps us to be more susceptible to love and spiritual energy, but it can also be a problem as it calls for us to negotiate denser or negative influences. Another very vital element of this change is developing intuition. The experience of interacting with God becomes deeper and more natural as this link is strengthened. Their spiritual inquiries have obvious and pressing answers that seem as if a direct link was being created. This gives one fresh confidence on the spiritual road, as judgments are driven by great interior understanding. Parallel to this spiritual development is a natural urge for cleansing in many spheres of life. Many start to eat more healthily and look for things that increase their vibration, including creative projects or exercise. This desire for elevation is developed not just on own initiative, but also in line with a dedication to ongoing spiritual development. The road towards the lens also helps us to deepen our natural connection with the surroundings. Every conference with the earthly creations, from trees to grand mountains, deepens our awareness of spiritual interconnectedness. This reminds us of our relationship with life and helps us to appreciate the delicate equilibrium keeping our planet. This awareness results in actions reflecting this relationship, including environmental protection and sustainability promotion. These components suggest that our body is adjusting to resonate with crystal clear energy, thereby urging us to keep on our spiritual development. This condition of being motivates us to seek closer connection with our divine mission. Every event on this road offers a chance for development and a call to fit even more with our actual self. This change tests us, but it also greatly enhances our life in hitherto unthinkable terms. Our everyday life starts with spirituality, which permeates every decision and behavior with holy purpose. Along this road, we become living models of spiritual development, lighting inspiration for everyone around us. The change to a crystalline entity goes beyond just human aspiration. It is a part of world spiritual development, a major turning point in the shared trip mankind is on toward illumination. As we welcomed these changes, we kept on a road wherein every stride reflects our dedication to live in peace with the universe. We get closer to expressing the divine in our own particular and brilliant form at every instant. Following the lens's path might help one highlight several difficulties that first seemed frightening. Usually, the spiritual awakening exposes latent anxieties, uncertainties, and resistances that must be confronted. Many times, people around us ask questions about our road of change and even show doubt as they do not yet know about it. Still challenging, these obstacles are necessary for spiritual development. They provide chances to deepen our belief in divine direction. Old habits and ideas that no longer fit us might be confusing as they force us to go beyond our comfort zone, to believe in the unknown future. Still, our spiritual strength and connection with divine purpose really blossom in these vulnerable times. Encouragement comes from passages like 2 Corinthians 4:17, which note that our current challenges are clearing the way for far greater everlasting glory than we could possibly envision. From this vantage point, we may see these challenges as fleeting but vital pauses on our path of change. Growing faith calls for the bravery to keep believing in the middle of ambiguity, not for no doubt. Prayer, meditation, and community support may help us to find solace. They will help us to be clear and strong, therefore guaranteeing that we will stay on our spiritual road. Recall that every difficulty presents a chance to approach God and break free from worries that no longer serve their more good use. This kind of view helps us to perceive challenges as means of inner development rather than as obstacles. We are aware that times of uncertainty and difficulty feed bravery and resolve. Hence, these aspects help us to strengthen our relationship with the divine. The road of the lens calls for a responsive heart, open to the unavoidable adjustments. We should keep in mind that we are not solitary on our road, even if we might feel alone at certain instances. Seeking a connection with people on like spiritual paths may provide useful encouragement and a feeling of community. Learning and sharing experiences help us to be more dedicated to both group and personal development. Acceptance of these challenges as normal, of course, helps us to face the future with greater assurance. The habit of appreciating the teachings found in any difficulty might change our viewpoint and enable us to combine every event into our spiritual development. Let yourself develop and learn from every challenge. This is an act of love and respect for yourself, realizing the road is holy and required. Every step we take reflects our capacity for resilience and development. We are all searching for insight and spiritual change. Remember that the real metamorphosis results from the inside. Embrace every stage of the process with empathy for others and yourself. Every difficulty exceeded us takes us to the divine and lets us radiate the brightness we really are. We go not just for ourselves, but also in order to help mankind to wake collectively. The road of crystal transformation depends on faith, as it is the one who grounds us in the divine orientation required to completely embrace this transformative road. Set aside time for prayer and meditation so you could open your heart to receive God's guidance and illumination. These techniques help us to clarify our course and increase our spiritual sensitivity, therefore strengthening our relationship with the divine. Feeding your religion helps you to be resilient in facing difficulties, knowing that a greater force supports your path. Another basic component of this path is self-care, including spiritual, emotional, and physical well-being. Crucially, they should engage in activities that feed and increase their vibration, such time in nature, full concentration practice, or community-building projects. By looking for yourself, you increase your capacity to be a shining beacon for others, thereby modeling love and spiritual understanding by your behavior. Accepting the change also requires developing thankfulness, a habit that helps you to refocus on the benefits and chances for personal development right now. A thankful heart opens even more to divine energy, guiding it in line with its actual nature and goal. Recall that you are part of a community of linked people, each along the path of spiritual development. You are not searching for your crystalline self alone. By means of your transforming path, you inspire others and help to raise collective awareness. Still, every little step counts. Your path is evidence of the ability of spiritual change as you match heavenly energy and purpose, and thus become the living representation of divine light and love on the planet. Staying connected and at ease depends on realizing this path is constant and the route has numerous bends. As we work to access the most profound and rewarding spiritual experiences, we have come to embrace our human limits. Daily gratitude helps us to strengthen our understanding that we are co-creators of our own world and helps to unite this personal relationship with the cosmos. Every morning, a time dedicated to thanks might reveal surprising paths that demonstrate how limitless and constantly accessible spiritual riches is. Unquestionably, the power of a linked spiritual community is its ability to inspire our own path of development and healing by means of communal support and knowledge. Dedication to this self-care and thankfulness helps us to perceive life with fresh clarity and intent. Obstacles become doors for fresh angles of knowledge and compassion, not additional walls. Therefore, spiritual change is much more than a notion. It is a daily decision to love and be loved, to reflect the aspects of divine light in every contact and choice we take. The surroundings change as we follow this path, harmonizing with the greatest vibrations we emit. Our influence is felt not just in the near circles we live in, but also throughout the fabric of collective awareness, influencing innumerable lives in ways we sometimes cannot even fathom. At last, realizing that these changes and metamorphoses are a part of a larger unfolding us with humility and inspiration, reminds us that every one of us on our own path is very vital. Faith and love feed confidence in one's natural qualities, which guarantees that, while unknown and always changing, the road ahead is full of divine possibilities. Reflecting the carbon transition path to the lens helps one to identify a sacred component from spiritual development that happens in line with divine time and goal. This metamorphosis encourages a higher condition of being in which the relationship with God and the cosmos is ever more beautiful and profound. Essential components of this road are challenges, education, and development. Each step opens the road to a more important clarity and a better knowledge. Though it is a path toward more harmony with the inner self and divine purpose, spiritual change is not a destiny. Accept this developing process, knowing that, in its spiritual development, every experience, regardless of its nature, serves a larger use. Every second that goes by is you co-creating a new reality based on love, unity, and divine connection. You are a shining beacon in the universe. Your path motivates others to start their own paths of spiritual enlightenment. Accepting your change helps you to radiate spiritual clarity and optimism for the globe, therefore elevating mankind collectively. Discover calm, knowing that it is divinely directed and supported every stride you take on this road. Important is keeping the heart open, the strong spirit, and the unquestionable faith. The change to your crystalline being offers many avenues of happiness, love, and connection. Accept it totally, and you will show others how to follow. This trip, full of grace and heavenly light, is a wonderful gift, a dance of personal and group discovery that lets you and others see beyond earthly constraints. Knowing this ongoing change helps us to be sure we are part of something much more than ourselves. Every relationship formed, every touched soul, enhances not only the personal experience, but also the spiritual fabric of our shared life. Honoring light within you helps your divine nature to grow and touch the hearts of others, thus generating a transforming wave that softly permeates all spheres of existence. Living this road with integrity and intention is to assist mankind in a modest but significant manner, because one of the biggest gifts we can provide is our own recognition of the light itself. Remember that faith is the presence of courage to embrace the unknown with trust and love, not the lack of hazards in experiencing this transition. Every day it is a blank screen, but by means of your deliberate actions, you create the hues of a fresh vision mixed with the light of divine love and knowledge. May every interaction, every knowledge gained, every obstacle surmounted its spirit and ready its path with beauty and purpose. We welcome surprising deviations with a thankfulness that sees them as chances for personal development, while still using the greatness of its crystalline potential, humble with humility and respect, the part it plays in the grand fabric of life. May your path be brightened with blessings and the brightness of God's love. Developing awareness is a call to live in every sphere of our life, more present and deliberately. The way we interact with the environment changes significantly when we apply awareness and whole attention, which we grow to acquire along our spiritual path. Bringing present every moment helps us to live with greater compassion and knowledge, whether at work, with family events, or during leisure activities. Many times, we find ourselves lost in everyday chores and responsibilities at work, therefore distancing ourselves from our core. By deliberately bringing awareness to these chores, we provide space for empathy and patience, therefore transforming not just our efficiency, but also our human nature in our contacts. This cognitive awareness enables us to calmly handle problems and disputes, therefore converting the workplace into one in which cooperation and understanding rule. In family, the practice of presence changes our interactions and helps us to see people we love really. This attention to the minute elements in family interactions helps to develop the bond and establish bonds. Each encounter is meaningful and builds the emotional support system, keeping the family together if one listens really, free from distractions, and responds with an open heart. During leisure, giving whole focus may transform regular activities into holy rites. When lived with full awareness, a basic outdoor ride may be a means of spiritual rejuvenation, wherein we interact with the beauty and grandeur of the surroundings. This exercise helps us to appreciate the little moments of happiness and satisfaction that really define life, in addition to significant successes. Applying this understanding in the most earthly spheres of everyday life needs both effort and commitment. Though sometimes we might get carried away with worries and diversions, going back to the practice of present helps us to attain our higher goal. Being aware involves realizing that every breath is a gift, every moment a possibility for personal development, every encounter a means of giving and getting love. The focused practice of awareness turns into a great tool for negotiating the complexity of contemporary life. The condition of presence generates a harmonic viewpoint that penetrates all our activities and helps us to live more really in line with our spiritual ideals. We start to live models of the transformational potential of complete care as we include this habit into our everyday life. Spiritual development shows itself in every sphere of daily life, rather than confined episodes of prayer or meditation. Living each day with conscious awareness not only helps us to enhance our own path, but also influences the life of those around us, thereby motivating others to take use of the richness of the present moment. Though we will team them with more grace and resilience, this attitude does not imply the absence of the unavoidable challenges or pressures of life. Integrating complete attention constantly helps us to find inner peace that maintains our emotional and spiritual health. This calm then echoes around us, generating an always positive and light cycle. Seeking to live deliberately is therefore a radical act of love and self-pity. It is a dedication to see and be seen, to hear and be heard, and to open heart and inquiring spirit embrace the whole of human experience. At first, this style of life may seem difficult, but with time and patience it becomes second nature and a means of expressing the knowledge and love each of us is meant to convey in this world.